It was late October. I had decided to disappear for a few days. No phone, no friends, no noise. I had been feeling off, like something was pressing down on my chest for weeks. So I packed up, picked a trail I found in a dusty hiking form, and drove out before sunrise. The trail didn't have a name, just coordinates. Remote, unofficial, perfect. I parked at the edge of an old gravel lot. The only sound was wind scraping dead leaves across the hood of my car. I checked my pack. Food, water, flashlight, knife. I left a note in my glove box just in case. Then I stepped into the woods. The trail was beautiful at first. Golden leaves, cool air, birds chirping. But as I climbed higher, everything faded. The trees grew tighter, taller. They began to blot out the sky. By midday, I felt like I was inside a tunnel of branches. Light barely made it through. That's when I realized I hadn't seen a single marker in over an hour. I pulled out my GPS. It just blinked. No signal. I laughed nervously. Okay, don't panic. I turned around to go back. At least I thought I did. But the trail behind me didn't look familiar anymore. I walked, and walked, and walked. Everything began to blur. Trees looked the same. Rocks, too. Even the birds had gone silent. I stopped when I heard the first sound. It was like a cough, but not human. It echoed, even though the woods around me were thick. I called out. Hello? No answer, just more silence. I tried retracing my steps again, but I ended up at a stream I didn't remember passing. My legs hurt. I hadn't eaten since morning. I sat down on a fallen log, drank some water, and pulled my hoodie tighter. That's when I saw it, a shape just behind the trees. Tall. Still, it looked like a person, but off. Too thin, too still. I blinked. It was gone. I stood up. Every instinct told me to move. Run! But where? I picked a direction and walked. Every few minutes, I felt like something was watching me. I'd turn and nothing would be there. Then I'd hear footsteps behind me. Stop. Silence. It felt like a game. Eventually, the forest opened slightly near a cliffside. I recognized nothing. I was lost. Truly lost. And then I saw him. An old man, standing still. Maybe 10 feet away. His clothes were ragged, like animal hides and faded flannel. Long white beard, pale eyes like milk. But the thing I noticed first, the horn. It grew from the middle of his forehead, not like a Halloween prop. It looked real, dark, ridged, cracked, like the twisted antler of a deer. He didn't speak. He just watched me. I backed away slowly. He didn't move. Then he turned without a word and started walking toward the trees. I don't know why, but I followed him. Maybe I thought he knew the way out. Maybe I didn't want to be alone anymore. We walked in silence. Every so often, he'd look over his shoulder. His eyes never blinked. The trees grew denser. My feet ached. I wanted to rest, but I didn't want to lose him. At one point, he stopped beside a tree with strange carvings, spirals, runes. He put his hand on the trunk and stared at it for a full minute. Then he walked again. I started hearing sounds in the distance. A low droning hum. It vibrated in my chest, like something was calling out. Not with words, but with feeling. I felt fear. Ancient, wild fear. Like the woods weren't meant for people. Like we had stolen something by being there. I almost turned and ran. But then through the trees, I saw it. A road. Faint. Winding. Paved. The man turned to me one last time. His face was blank. Then he stepped back into the woods. And disappeared. I sprinted to the road, waving my arms like an idiot. Eventually, a pickup truck stopped and gave me a ride to the nearest ranger station. They asked where I'd come from. I gave them the coordinates. The ranger frowned. He told me that area had been closed for over a decade due to landslides and unusual activity. Locals avoided it, said the land was cursed. When I mentioned the old man with the horn, he went quiet. Then he said, "You should be thankful you got out." I asked him what that meant. He just said, "Not everyone does." Sometimes late at night, I hear the hum again. Low, distant, calling. And I remember his eyes, white, ancient, and watching. Sweet dreams.